For decades, the joke about Brazil has been that it's the country of the future and always will be. Despite enormous natural resources, it has long displayed an uncanny ability to squander its vast potential. Now, it's beginning to look like Brazil might have the last laugh. While most of the world is consumed with debt and unemployment, Brazil is trying to figure out how to manage an economic boom. It was the last country to enter the Great Recession, the first to leave it, and is poised to overtake France and Britain as the world's fifth largest economy. Its outgoing president may be the most popular politician on the planet, and with the World Cup and the Olympics on the way, Brazil is about to make its grand entrance on the global stage.
The story will continue in a moment.
When most people think of Brazil, they think of its passion and excellence in soccer. Not of skyscrapers in Sao Paulo, the financial hub of a fledgling economic superpower. They think of the pulsating beat of the samba and carnival, not commodities or the world's largest cattle industry. They see the beaches of Ipanema and Copacabana and breathtaking vistas.
It's quite a view.
With most of the world's economy stagnant, Brazil's is growing at 7%, 3 times faster than America. It is a huge country, slightly larger than the continental U.S., with vast expanses of arable farmland, an abundance of natural resources, and 14% of the world's fresh water. 80% of its electricity comes from hydropower. It has the most sophisticated biofuels industry in the world, and for its size, the world's greenest economy. Brazil is already the largest producer of iron ore in the world and the world's leading exporter of beef, chicken, orange juice, sugar, coffee, and tobacco, much of it bound for China, which has replaced the U.S. as Brazil's leading trade partner. Later, this man walked into the president's office. President Luiz Inácio Lula da Silva, known simply as Lula, is a former metal worker with a 4th grade education and a doctorate in charisma. When he was elected 8 years ago on his 4th try, Lula was a firebrand labor leader with socialist tendencies. Some predicted another Hugo Chavez. But he's about to leave office with a 77% approval rating and much of the credit for turning the country around.
If there's something I am proud of, it is to have told my people that we are not second-class citizens, that we can get things done, we can believe in ourselves, and then people have started to believe.
There are still some non-believers. Given its checkered record for living up to its promise, the rap against Brazil is that it lacks ambition. It's called the Brazilian way. Why do something today that you can pay someone to do the day after tomorrow? Brazilians put up with incredibly high taxes on almost everything, have a high tolerance for corruption. While many in Brazil's cities lust for first world status, the third world is never far away. For decades, Brazil ignored the festering slums known as favelas, which wrap around Rio, overlooking some of the most valuable real estate in the city. They have been staging areas for street crime against tourists and safe havens for drug gangs so well armed that they brought down a police helicopter a few years ago with heavy machine gun fire. Finally, after years of looking the other way, the military police have begun to move in. In recent weeks, some parts of Rio have been a battle zone, with drug traffickers burning buses near some of the sports venues. But so far, the police have pacified 13 of the most dangerous favelas, and there are 27 more to go. Whatever happens in Brazil, no one will be able to blame it on a lack of money. That's because 150 miles off the coast lie what are believed to be the largest discoveries of oil found anywhere in the world in the past 35 years. Petrobras, the state-owned oil company, is preparing to drill 20,000 feet below the surface of the Atlantic to reach oil fields that sit underneath layers of salt beds.
This oil story is a trillion-dollar story right in front of us here.
What do the offshore oil discoveries do for Brazil? What do they mean for the country's future?
Oh, it means, you know, we should be producing in excess of 6 million barrels a day. So you put us among the third, fourth largest producer in the world, massive exporter.
President-elect Dilma joked that the oil discoveries were just the latest proof that God is Brazilian. An economist from Goldman Sachs, no less, had predicted that Brazil, along with Russia, China, and India, will dominate the world economy in the 21st century. If it happens, Brazil would be a different kind of superpower, one that would rather make love, not war. It has no nuclear arsenal, and aside from contributing a small number of troops to the Allied cause in 1944, Brazil hasn't fought a war since 1870.
Why fight? With all the pleasures, beach and sun, war, forget it. Soccer? Let's watch a soccer game. Let's go to the beach. Let's drink a beer.